Hello everyone, this is Jean-Louis from Atlas. Today we're going to give you a very brief and quick demonstration of how Atlas works with Race Result. So in order to do this demo for you today, I've got the Atlas Timing Point app here on my trusty Doogie phone. I also have the Atlas Pod, which is our Bluetooth timing transponder. And behind me on my laptop, I have the Atlas connector software and Race Results here on my big screen. All right. Let's get going. So let's begin by showing you how to establish a connection between Atlas and Race Result. It's really very simple. All you have to do is create an API key from Race Result, which I'm going to paste into here. Then automatically I will have my timing points appear underneath, and all I need to do is map them to the Race Result timing points which you've already created. Let's get cracking. Pull up Race Result in Access Rights Simple API, and then we simply need to create a custom type Simple API. We type in times/add, and then we copy and paste the link that's automatically created by Race Result into the API key here. We test it. That states that it's valid, so I know that functions well and it's working with Race Result. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone green and said valid. And as you can see, I have now had my 3 timing points that have come up. So at this point, I'm going to shut that window there. I will come into timing on Race Result, timing points, and here are my timing points I've created. So I've got, let me pull that up. So here I've got my 3 timing points. Start finish, which we're not going to look at today, close range and long range. So here I'm going to copy and paste into the appropriate timing point. I'm going to test it. Same thing for long range. Test that as well. And to figure out if the test has worked, I go back to timing. I go to chip reads. And I can see here that I have my close range and long range. So I know that that's working and the data is coming through. Perfect. That means I'm ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is come back to my connector. And the only thing I have to do in connector is connect the timing points. So as a reminder, we're only going to use 2 out of the 3. And we're going to do the live demo for you now. So let me zoom out a little bit on the screen so that we can try and get both of these pieces of software in one single screen. So I'm going to put Atlas Connector up here in the top left. I'm going to put Race Result up here so that we can watch all the chip reads come in real time. So as you know, this part of connector is already done. We're connected. We're ready to go. You're going to see the detections come into the detections table and instantaneously come through also onto Race Result. So I have my pod ready to go. I have my phone with close range, so that's this timing point up here, ready to go. So let's get on with the demo. Okay, so you can see that the chip times are coming in here and instantaneously also in Race Result, practically within 0.2, 0.3 of a second. As soon as we're getting a detection, they're coming up within a second, far less than a second, up on the screen in front of you. Now, this phone is on close range, which means that the pod has to be very, very close to the phone in order to get a detection. It's set to detect every second. I'm going to take the pod away, arm's length, and you can see that the detections are no longer coming through. Oh, this one is coming through. So I'm going to take the pod away a little bit further, and there are no more detections coming through, and we can see they've stopped here. Now, I'm going to turn this one off. I'm going to get my other timing point, which is long range, to show you what happens when you have a different one. Now, I have a bunch of pods that are sitting about 25 meters away from my current position, and they're set to detect every 5 seconds. And I've got about 10 of them or something like that. So as you can see, they're all coming through all at once. So every 5 seconds, and we're getting a whole bunch of reads. All of the detections are coming through instantaneously. All right, last thing I want to show you with this demo is I often get asked, what happens if the phone loses internet connectivity? Well, let's have a go. So I'm going to turn this one back on. And let's assume we have lost internet connectivity. So I'm going to switch off the Wi-Fi. There's no data on this phone. As you can see, the phone is telling me that I've lost internet connectivity, and I can see up here that it states very clearly, no internet connection. However, it is still reading the detections, but you can see that they are not coming through into either race result or indeed Atlas Connector. So let's imagine the phone is brought back into an area, and typically this normally happens when you're in the middle of the countryside. It's used as a checkpoint somewhere. And let's say you're coming back into an area that does have internet connection. So I'm going to switch the Wi-Fi back on. And what you're going to see is that after a few seconds, the phone will be cognizant of the fact that the internet's back. It will tell me, and then, there we go. And then in a few seconds, we are going to see all of the detections that we missed come through here all at once. And there we go. They've all been piled in now. And we can also see this. Let me give you a better demonstration. Here in Atlas, where we can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, where we can see all of the detections, 73. Well, I hope that's given you a good idea of how Atlas works with race results. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.